Hello there! In the previous video I already showed how the original Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit can be installed and run on Linux. By this, we did not make any modifications to the game itself. But in today's video we will want to apply the famous modern patch to the game, which will not only give us widescreen support, but also smoother graphics and will enable us to play the game without a physical disc or a disc image. Also, you do not need to have watched the previous video, as the setup process with the original and the modern patch are very different. Hi, my name is Vortex and today we're gonna level up our retro gaming experience and play Need for Speed 3 as we remember it.
Deja Vu, I've just been in this place before, higher on the street.
Prerequisites. Before we dive into how to set everything up, I'd first like to ensure we are on the same page. First of all, I recommend to install bottles for easier management of Windows applications on Linux from FlatHub. If you are unfamiliar with Flatpaks, feel free to check out my dedicated tutorial video. The video can be found inside the description and in the info card shown on screen. Inside bottles we want to create a new environment to run our game with if you haven't done this already. For this, click on the plus icon in the upper left corner of the main UI. Here, we supply a name and set gaming as the environment preset. Hit create and wait for it to finish setting everything up. Also, as you will still require the original retail CD or disk image of the game, I recommend to take a look at my dedicated video on how to manage image files on Linux as well, as it also covers some troubleshooting if an application is not able to access a disk or image properly. Install the game. As we now have everything prepared, we can now continue installing the game. For this, all we need to do is to open up our bottles environment and click on the three dots in the upper right corner and click on Browse Files. This will open up our file browser inside the bottles environment we have created earlier. In here, navigate to drive_c, program files x86 and create a new directory. Something like Need for Speed 3 will do the trick. Next, open up the mounted disk and copy the two directories FE data and game data into the directory we have created before. Apply modern patch. Next, download and extract the Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit modern patch from the link in the video description. As it is common on Linux that multiple files can have the same name if different letters are in upper or lowercase, we want to ensure all files of the modern patch and the game files are named equally, in order to let the modern patch override the correct files. To not manually look up all files and rename them by hand, I recommend installing Szyszka from FlatHub. This tool allows us to automate renaming files. Open up the application and click on Add Folders on the upper right part of the window. Navigate to the location where the modern patch was extracted to and select the directory. A little window will pop up. Select Scan Inside and deselect Ignore Folders, then hit OK. Repeat this process with the Need for Speed 3 game directory we have created earlier. By default, it is located at /home, followed by your username, followed by /var/app/com.usebottles.bottles/data/bottles/bottles, followed by the name of the environment we have created, followed by the path where we have copied FE data and the game data into. As a next step, we click on Add Rule in the lower half of the main UI on the left hand side. A new window will pop up. Choose upper/lowercase and select as a tool type lowercase and as usage type both. Click on Add Rule. Hit Start Renaming in the upper left corner of the main UI. After confirming the renaming and the summary, you can close the application. Now, navigate back to the unpacked modern patch directory and copy all files and directories into the game directory we have created earlier. Allow for writing into all directories and also to overwrite all existing files. Launch the game. Now that we have applied the modern patch, we want to launch the game. For this, there are two things to do first. First, inside bottles, click on Add Shortcuts and select the main executable of the game called nfs3.exe. Second, click on the three dots next to the newly created entry and choose Change Launch Options. To the text area, command arguments, we add taskset-c 0% command%. If you have watched the previous video of mine, you may remember that Need for Speed 3 is very bad on multi-core CPUs. This unfortunately also applies to the modern patch. Therefore, we will need to limit the amount of CPU cores visible to the game. In this case, we limited it to 1. Then hit save. You should now be able to play the game just fine and no CD is required as well. While the main menu of the game will still be in a 4:3 aspect ratio, the actual game will be in widescreen. Troubleshooting. While there shouldn't be much to troubleshoot, there is still one minor issue which needs to be resolved for some users. If you have an AMD graphics card in your computer which also runs the game, you may notice broken visuals. This is either due to a bug in DXVK or the AMD GPU drivers on Linux, which causes most of the 3D environment to be invisible to the player with the Need for Speed 3 modern patch. If you suffer from this issue, click on the 3 dots next to the NFS3 shortcut we have created earlier and once more choose Change Launch Options. In here, disable DXVK, hit save and rerun the game. It should now render correctly. For NVIDIA users, this fix is not required. Outro. That's it. With these steps you should be able to play Need for Speed 3 Hot Pursuit on Linux using the modern patch just fine. I hope you found this video helpful and enjoy the game as like you remembered it. Have a great day.